today's tip of the week is how to define custom curtain wall frames. So one of the advantages to curtain walls is that you can define very custom frames as part of that. It could be a cap, it could be the frame of the actual curtain wall. As you can see here, here's our cap, here's our curtain wall frame, and those can be defined as presets that we have within our settings here, as well as profile frames that we're selecting from profiles within our profile editor that we can create within Archicad. And as you can see below here, these are curtain wall frames and curtain wall caps. So in the options menu, you can actually open up our complex profiles and open up the profile manager. Once that profile manager is open, we can, of course, by clicking this button right here, create a curtain wall, custom curtain wall frame. Once we do that, we'll bring up a new profile dialog, type in the name, click OK, and it's going to create a custom profile window for you where you can begin to create and edit that curtain wall frame. So in this case, if we wanted to create a frame, we would simply go and start to edit and create that frame. Now, the first thing you want to do is to open up your fill settings and make sure it's set to show the type of fill, because in order to create any sort of profile, you need to use a fill. The fill is what Archicad uses as a the shape to extrude that shape. So in this case, we're going to select metal structural as our fill pattern. We're going to select that we want to have a solid line around that fill pattern, and we want it to be a pin of 1 or whatever it is that you want to select for that. And as you can see, once we create that shape, it's going to have lines through it based upon the fill pattern that is selected for that particular metal structural frame that was created by Archicad. And once we've done that, we also want to make sure that we pay attention to the fill position. So the fill position here is at the bottom. That's what it will use when it's connected to the curtain wall. And so you just need to pay attention to that. If you draw it in the wrong place, it's not a problem. You simply go around, go to the fill, simply rotate it around or move it, however you need to, in order for it to be in the right location. Then what you're going to do is make sure that it's also assigned to the object. This is what the curtain wall uses here as the in order for you to be able to select it within the curtain wall tool. If it's not selected as this, it will not show up as an option in the curtain wall tool. You also going to want to make sure that your custom edge settings are set to the correct material color. So in this case, you want to go and open up, click on the edge of your fill, go and select this option right here, which opens up your custom edge settings, and then select metal structural or whatever material that you want for that, and make sure that that's selected to either the edge, which would be only this edge, or to all edges if you want the entire fill pattern and the material assigned to that to be assigned to all. Once you've done all that and select Save, then you can go into your curtain wall settings. You can select whether it's mullion, transom, corner frame, whichever one you're editing. Select that you want to go down here to mullion frame, type and geometry, select profile frame, and simply scroll down to profile frame. This allows you to then select, once you've done that, you can then go over to my curtain wall frame, or I should say you can go down to your frame type, and you can change it from whatever the default was here to your curtain wall frame that you created, as you can see here. And then that allows you to then use your curtain wall frame as opposed to the default options that you have within this curtain wall settings. And you would do the same thing for your cap, right? you would go down to your cap, and here's your cap here. And now I want to go and select that also. It could be, again, the custom one that you created, or it could be one that's just a standard one within Archicad to add to that. And then you're going to want, of course, repeat that for the corner frame, the boundary frame, the mullion frame, and the transom frame, so that all those are defined with whatever you want for that custom frame and the custom cap that you made for that. Again, you want to make sure that all those are done so that they're matching whichever one you're changing, assuming that all those should be matched to it. Once you've completed that, you're then going to go ahead and draw your curtain wall assembly as whatever shape you need that to be, much like you would draw a wall. And then you'll see that at your curtain wall, you're going to see the shape of that curtain wall frame, the cap that was part of that. They'll even repeat here at the corner. And when you take a section through that or a 3D cutaway, you will see that here is the frame that we drew. Here's the cap in Archicad that we added. And it simply repeats that for all those custom curtain wall components. Really nice way of doing your curtain wall system. Create that custom frame that really adds that extra level of detail to your curtain wall. And that is our tip of the week. Let's get into Archicad.